It's that time again, my fellow nerd aficionados. We are heading back into the dark depths of the heroes who are willing to lay everything on the line when it comes to achieving their mission, who are willing to risk it all when the chips are down, because they have nothing left to lose. What are they going to do when the chips are down? Probably something super terrifying and dangerous, especially considering how unstoppable some of these heroes are. Welcome back, Nerd Squad. Today we'll be counting down the top 10 powerful superheroes with nothing to lose part 2. If you missed the part 1 to this list, click on over here to check that out and find out who else made our cut. And be sure to stick around to the end of this list where I will have some bonus content coming your way. Alright, now let's get counting. Number 10. Daredevil. Daredevil might have a lot to lose normally. His neighborhood, his reputation as a lawyer, the countless girlfriends he's had, and in most cases lost due to them dying. However, there is one point when he didn't really have any of this, not even his costume. When Kingpin took it all away from him during the story Born Again. Matt Murdock got to show the stuff that he was really made of. In the end, although there are a lot of things Daredevil personally does care about, to him none of these things really matter on the same level as one very important thing. Matt Murdock would put everything on the line when it comes to stopping criminals and protecting the borough of Hell's Kitchen. He would even risk sacrificing his own secret identity, which has been revealed multiple times to villains and the public alike. The other thing you can bet is that while Matt might not be at the same power level as other heroes, he is one hero who will always get back up, no matter what has been taken from him. Number 9. Thomas Wayne. Thomas Wayne as Batman from the Flashpoint timeline truly has nothing left to lose. Those he cared most about protecting are lost to him. His son Bruce, murdered during an alleyway robbery gone wrong. His wife Martha was driven mad in grief and turned into the maniacal villain known as the Joker. It's surprising that Thomas even finds anything to keep him going, but at the end of the day, protecting the innocent people of Gotham is the only way he can seem to find solace, and there is nothing that would stop him from doing so, not even his wife and his now nemesis Martha Wayne. And in fact, when he sees a way of reversing what has befallen him and helping to fix the timeline, there is absolutely nothing that would stop Thomas from doing so, even if it means hurting his only son surviving in the main continuity. Sad. Number 8. Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones did not have much to lose after pretty much everything was taken from her. After being freed from the Purple Man aka Kilgrave's hold on her, Jessica Jones began to spiral. She retired from being the superhero known as Jewel and opened up her own private investigation agency. She operated and owned it, and so she only had to play by her own rules, which suited Jessica just fine, as she tried to find herself again and figure out just who she was and who she wanted to become. Jessica Jones is of course not just powerful physically, but is also powerful when it comes to her investigative skills and mind. Number 7. Nova. The Nova we're talking about this time around is Richard Rider. This version of Nova sacrificed everything to ensure the safety of the universe. He was trapped in the negative zone, took on the Sentry and the Cancerverse, originally being stranded there. No one ever came for him, and he gave his life to put a stop to the invasion of the Cancerverse. Later on, he was resurrected, and now he just flies through space, not much having anything left to care for, but trying to protect the universe all the same, giving it everything he's got. And incoming, we see him update Night Thrasher on this situation while taking out a massive starship. Nova's scary. Number 6. Hank Pym. The whole reason that Hank Pym as Ant-Man, or any of his other superhero or even supervillain personas, gets into so much trouble is because he doesn't fixate on what he has to lose. He doesn't actually even really think about what he has to lose. He doesn't get hung up on the potential consequences of his actions. See where I'm going here? Hank himself is not a naturally superpowered being, but it is his brilliant intellect that has allowed him to gain superpowers, like the ability to change size as Ant-Man. And it is his intellect that has also allowed him to create great and terrible creatures and devices like Ultron. Number 5. Jon Stewart. When Jon Stewart makes mistakes, he falls hard, and it's both while fighting against those who are unjust and in failing to save those who are deemed innocent that he usually can be seen as a man with nothing to lose. In fact, that has kind of been Jon Stewart's whole arc as a character. He's a man who believes fully in his own strength and gives everything his all, but his arrogance can also be his biggest flaw as a character. In Cosmic Odyssey, we see what happens when Jon goes in, guns, or I guess ring a-blazing. He is attempting to save the planet known as Xanshi from a fatal explosion. However, due to his overconfidence in himself, he underestimates the force he is coming up against, which leads to the planet's destruction. This almost leaves Jon with consequences he cannot live with when he contemplates taking his own life, but ultimately decides he's stronger than that. Jon Stewart's confidence makes him an unstoppable powerhouse, but it also puts him into binds too. Over time, time, he has learned to be more considerate, but when he started out as a hero, his actions made you feel as though he truly felt he just had nothing to lose. Both a pro and a con. Number 4. Vulcan. Vulcan is traditionally known for being more of a villain, but he has been a hero before, and even when he's acting heroically, he doesn't pull many of his punches. He gives it his all and risks everything to achieve his goal. At one point, when he was operating under the codename Kid Vulcan, he was sent as part of a rescue team which Charles Xavier selected to save the X-Men team from Krakoa. This was before the dawn of X-Line was a thing, and so this was before the island of Krakoa was seen as a friendly, cooperative mutant/island ally. Vulcan went in and managed to rescue his brother Scott Summers, aka Cyclops, and even seemingly died doing so. Now in reality, Vulcan only appeared to die but was later saved by the mutant Darwin's survival abilities. Following that, Vulcan, aka Gabriel Summers, would become pretty villainous in the comics, but at the point that we're talking about here in the comics, he would have been seen as a hero. Number 3. Lois Lane. You might be thinking, since when is Lois Lane super powerful, Amanda? Well, let me tell you, Lois doesn't actually need powers to be considered a powerful and deadly woman and opponent. Thank you very much. Though in this case, she did actually have superpowers. This version of Lois we are talking about here is one who became Superwoman following the death of Superman in the Tales from the Dark Multiverse comic, Death of Superman. Following Clark's death, Lois was beside herself with grief. When she learned the Eradicator had come to Earth but failed in reviving Kal-El, she offered herself as a vessel for the power it held and could bestow upon her. Lois then became a sort of dark superwoman, one who would not be stopped. Now insanely powerful, fueled by grief and rage, and without Clark to ground her, Lois set out to make the world a better place, in essence by brutally punishing anyone she deemed guilty, making the choice of peace for people as opposed to giving them that option. She brutally killed Lex Luthor and even stopped anyone who got in her way, including Batman. Number 2. Immortal Hulk. After Hulk's death and rebirth, Hulk has his own problems but finds himself basically being on the run by often what feels like the entire Marvel universe. This is a version of the Hulk who is insanely powerful. This is also a version of the Hulk who cannot die. I think you see where I'm going here. Bruce Banner of course was still in there, but it would later be revealed the Devil Hulk had taken hold, which sounds about as scary as it is, as Devil Hulk believed the best course of action was to put an end to humanity. And even with Bruce Banner still being a part of the Hulk, Bruce was often lonely as the Immortal Hulk, having not many people to feel like he could turn to. He even lost his close friend Rick Jones, who was later revealed was turned into a monster designed to destroy the Hulk. Wow, poor Rick Jones. Number 1. Gamora. When Gamora set out on a mission to revive a lost fragment of her soul and rebalance the soul gem, she ended up becoming a villain to most of her friends and also the entire universe, pretty much. Killing Thanos, his dying words to her were about how he felt she was about to complete his own Requiem. Despite not agreeing, she was inspired by his words and took the name Requiem for herself. Once she had the soul gem in her possession and she had reconnected with the fragment of her soul that was trapped within it, becoming whole once more, she then needed to appease the gem's hunger, and so she folded the universe in half using the power of the Infinity Stones and fed those merged souls to the Soul Stone, turning this new world known as Warp World into a pocket dimension. There was nothing that would get in Gamora's way on this mission, and her willpower and the Infinity Stones made her, well, virtually unstoppable. It was only alternate versions of the heroes wielding their own Infinity Stone copies who had escaped Warp World that were able to even challenge her. And fortunately they did stop her. So she was unstoppable until, like most people, she was stopped. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad. Who do you think are some of the most ruthless supes around? Who would stop at nothing to get what they want? How fine of a line do you think can exist between a hero and a villain? What turns heroes into villains? Is it crossing a line, or is it simply a change of perspective from our point of view? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Shocking Hulk Ripoffs. Conditioner Gordon says, "That spam person can finally not spam." Okay, so I'm not sure which person who be spamming that you're referring to, but I just wanted to commend you on your amazing username. Conditioner Gordon lives! And it brings me so much joy. I wish Jack was here to see this. Yep, it's Nick Greer comments. There's also Crunk from Justice Friends, which is from Dexter's Laboratory. And there is also Savage Dragon and She-Dragon, which is basically Hulk and She-Hulk. You get bonus points for reminding us all of the magic that is Dexter's Lab and the Justice Friends segments. Dexter's Lab is the show that taught me as a kid how to properly spell laboratory. because Dexter kept saying laboratory. Thank you, Dexter. Also, major glory! And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts and feels shouted out in a future video. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you as always to stay nerdy, YouTube.